FPS Girls Lesson 8. Today we will starting exercise 3.2, which is on page 60, and the topic is continued third, mean and fourth proportion. Now in a proportion, if proportion has four quantities A ratio B, then proportion to B ratio C. Then we have AC equals to B square. Now this relation is found by cross multiplication, and which means that the three quantities A, B and C are in continued proportion. You see that B is continued form, B is in the continued form, and B is called mean proportion. Means the second and the third quantity in the proportion is repeated, and that is B. It is also called the mean proportion since it is repeated or continued to the next another ratio of A and C. While C, you see that in the proportion C stands for the third proportion. Now we take a numerical example, that is 4 ratio 6 proportion to 6 ratio 9. Now in this we take the cross product of the extremes and means. So that is 4 multiplied by 9, which is equals to 6 multiplied by 6, which is the product of mean. So both sides are equal, as you see that 36 equals to 36. So the three quantities, which are 4, 6 and 9, they are in continued proportion, and 6 is the mean proportion of 4 and 9, while 9 is the third proportion over here. But if we consider 2, 4, 6 as three quantities and applying the same procedure, we see that in this case 2 into 6 is not equals to 4 into 4. That is 12 is not equals to 16. So these three quantities are not in continued proportion. Now we come to the last condition, which is the fourth proportion. Now what is the fourth proportion and how can we find it? If it is unknown or missing in the given proportion. Now this, we know that in a proportion we have four quantities or the equality of two equivalent ratios. Now that is A by B and C by D, which are equal ratios. So the fourth quantity, that is D, is called fourth proportion. And if this quantity is missing or unknown, then the proportion will be, you will see in this question I am writing this A ratio B and the proportion C ratio, and the box stands for the unknown, which is the fourth quantity D. So let me take this box as X, and then in the cross multiplication we'll write down like A by B equals to C by X, and while the result will be AX equals to BC and X equals to BC by A. So this relation, by this relation we can find X or the fourth proportion. Now at the end I will write down the related topic related to solution to this topic, which is we have already explained in this lesson. This is continued, mean, third and fourth proportion. So there are examples 8, 9 and 10. Then exercise questions are 1 to 5, and there is also a review exercise questions, which are question number 10 and 11, and I will explain these questions, especially the exercise question, in the next lesson, which is lesson number 9. Thank you.